Hi, my name is Bob Dittmer, and welcome to Explorations in Public Relations. In this series of short videos, we attempt to explore and illuminate the practice and profession of public relations. Today, we're going to talk about Public Relations Professional Association, the Public Relations Society of America. My guest today is Jamaison Schuler. Jamaison is a communications specialist with Eli Lilly today, but more importantly for our conversation, Jamaison serves as the chapter president for the Hoosier Chapter, that's Indiana, the Hoosier Chapter of PRSA. Jamaison, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, Jamaison, let me just start this off by having you kind of tell us, assuming that no one knows what PRSA, just what is it?
So it's a professional organization, the Public Relations Society of America, for those of us professionals who a majority of our time is spent in the practice of public relations and communications.
And in terms of size, volume, how many people are we talking about that are members of this organization?
There are about 20,000 members of PRSA nationally. Here in the Hoosier Chapter, we're about 400 members strong, which actually makes us one of the largest chapters in the country.
Excellent. Now, if some of our viewers were interested, particularly if they were younger viewers in college today, and they had the question, I really want to study public relations, why would I be interested at this point in my studies in paying attention to PRSA? What would be in it for me?
Well, there are a lot of learning opportunities. I think that there's also the opportunity to associate yourselves with other professionals or students who have the same types of interests as you do. So in a college environment, people might join a fraternity or a sorority because they feel like they have something in common with those students. Right. PRSSA would be no different. So if this is the chosen career path for you, if you think you have interest in this career path, then you consider your membership, you learn from that membership, and you associate with other people who have the same interests that you do.
And PRSSA is the Public Relations Student Society of America, and there are something like 150 chapters around the country.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not sure the number of chapters, but it's growing all the time. Right. So in the state of Indiana, we sponsor 9 student chapters. I was a charter member of my own student chapter at the University of Southern Indiana in Evansville.
Outstanding, outstanding. And of course, we have a student chapter here at the university. So that's the student's interest. Now, if I were a young professional just entering the field, why would I join PRSA, and what would be the benefits of that membership?
So the tangible benefits are, for instance, at the national level, when you're a member, there are member discounts to things like FedEx and budget rental car and their financial planning assistance. And if you're a solo practitioner, there are insurance options available to you. So there are some reasons why just that. There are some great opportunities for professional development. So there are seminars, there are conferences, there are professional materials, newsletters, magazines that are sent out. And really, if you crack the cover on them, there's really some strong reading in there. There's a lot of thought leadership that comes out of the profession. So as a young professional, it allows you to understand a little bit more about the diverse opportunities within the profession. Public relations as an umbrella term has a lot of different facets. I think it allows you to read up on some of those different areas, and as your career develops and you're trying to mold your future career, PRSA membership on a national level can help you identify certain sectors or areas of interest that you might want to pursue more once you learn about them through association membership. At the local chapter level, the networking is amazing. And so as we hear often in this industry, it's all about who you know and the networking, and that's really the case. I personally can claim that all 3 of the jobs that I have and in my early career and as my career has developed and grown are direct result or have been anchored or cornerstone by things, professionals that I know through the local chapter of PRSA and opportunities that this local chapter has provided me. And then additionally, as a young professional, it allows you to begin working on some leadership development skills that you might not get in your job. So if you're a young professional early on in your career, you may not be managing others. You might have a very specialized assignment or role within your company or organization. If you get involved with PRSA and at the local chapter level, you might find opportunities to volunteer, to broaden your horizons, to expand your skill set in a way outside what your professional opportunities provide.
And just kind of building on that, you're currently the serving president for a major chapter of PRSA, but you've done other things with the chapter as well. Kind of share with our viewers a little bit of those experiences and why you did them and what you may have learned from them.
So when I joined the chapter 12 years ago as an associate member, which is a discounted membership that's available to students who have just recently graduated and are entering the career field, I volunteered to serve on the chapter and asked specifically about the PRSSA committee. So as the local Hoosier chapter, we have a sponsorship, as I mentioned, of 9 student chapters. I wanted to be still involved with the students. That was a great transition for me into professional life, but still enjoy that opportunity to work with students who I could more closely identify. So I became a co-chair of the PRSSA committee, and from there I went on to our awards committee a couple of years later, the local Pinnacle Awards. I co-chaired that for a number of years. I became an assembly delegate and president-elect and now president, and I'm also a professional advisor for ISU in Terre Haute. So I've worn a lot of hats through my 12 years now with the chapter, but it's been a great opportunity for me to again develop leadership skills that perhaps I'm not getting in my professional life.
And I can certainly echo those because I've been a chapter member for 19 years, and I've served in many of those same roles, including as chapter president some years ago. I'm not going to tell you how long ago. Assuming that we have young people watching, and you're the kind of the perfect person to ask this question of, as you look back on your education and on your experience of 12 years, what would you share with young college students today as they look out in the marketplace and they look at public relations and how it is growing and changing? What kind of advice and suggestions would you make to them in terms of preparing for our profession?
Well, I would say mentally make sure that you are prepared to not be shy, to get out there and to really enjoy your membership, take the most opportunity that it provides you, and don't be a fair weather member, if you will. So I've had a number of people who might be faced with some job changes coming up and have come back to me and say, I really need to get back involved with PRSA. I really need to come to a luncheon again. You get in you get out of it what you put in. And so I would say be prepared to get involved and know that going in that, this is going to be important to me in my career, and so I'm going to dedicate the time and effort that it needs. And maybe that's volunteering. Maybe it's just making sure you show up to events and take advantage of the member benefits that way. And meet people and get to understand different areas of the profession. I think you've got to identify fairly early on what are your interests. Do I enjoy internal communications or external communications? Do I like media relations or am I more investor focused? Is it agency or nonprofit? And the more exploration you do through networking and through sitting at a luncheon with a table full of strangers, the more you're going to draw on those member benefits, and it's going to help you develop in your career a little bit faster.
That's great advice. Jamaison, thank you for joining us today and talking about PRSA.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope that you stay tuned for more such explorations in public relations in the future. My name is Bob Dittmer. Thank you for joining us.